there's your hug.
Yeah, there's my hug. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. What was it? Was it 5 shots after 2 periods?
6.
6 shots after 2 periods.
Well, it was 5, and then they gave Hughes one later. They reviewed it. But, oh God.
God. Like, where do we want to even start?
We got 20 shots in the third. Yay. Tyler Myers with a huge mean-nothing goal.
Yep. Everyone in the chat was saying yay-ish.
Yeah, yay-ish. Yeah, pretty much. That was a tough one.
I think it did it again. No internet.
That the goal was called back there for Hoglander. To me, that looked like it went in off the stick. The speed it rebounded looked more like it would have hit the stick than the glove, because the glove kind of would have soft bounced and probably deflected a bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might have changed the last bit of the game, because that would have made it 3-2, right? So obviously they come back and get that 4-1 goal. After we get that one call, we have the good challenge by Talkett and try to build some momentum, and we just couldn't build tonight. There was no momentum in our favor. We didn't get a power play until very late in the game, and a lot of that was because we weren't moving our feet. What did you see tonight that you liked?
I mean, it was early on, right? And that's the worst part, is the only thing that we liked was the, Lekkerimäki getting his first goal as a Canuck, first goal in the NHL, first point, all that stuff, which is great to see. Nice pass from Miller over to him, and that Pat did one-timer that he's known for is great. I mean, Pettersson looked good. Pettersson was out there throwing hits.
Yeah,
I felt like
he looked like angry.
The third line didn't look great.
No, not tonight. That was probably one of their weaker games in a while.
What was Hronek doing on that goal, right? He was literally facing the wrong way. Like, did his controller disconnect or something?
Yeah, like trying to take the pass and ending up in the crease, turning your back to the play, like all the things you learn not to do in like pee-wee hockey.
Yeah.
Or U10 now, I guess they would call it.
When I started playing ice hockey, it was like, because me and you, we played roller hockey for years and years. I never played ice hockey growing up. I didn't start playing till I was 30. And one of my teammates was actually a coach who coached at the BCHL level. So he knew what he was talking about, right? And the thing he kept on saying to me, he's like, bro, stop turning away from the puck, right? Like, if you want to be successful out here, you need to be facing the puck. You need to be aware of where the puck is. And that's coming from a dude who's 30 years old, who's just learning the game. And now we got Hronek, Mr. $58 million, who's now losing control and just like facing the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, you remember when I played with you, like if a pass got through me or a shot got by me, I was upset with myself. So you got to find a way, if you're going to put yourself in that position, you better be blocking that pass or better be helping your goalie out, because at that point you're a pylon. You're just a practice for a really skilled shooter to shoot around.
So, I mean, you can look at it like Myers and Soucy looked terrible on a couple of plays, like really bad.
Soucy had an awful night tonight.
Like, and same thing with him. Like he's doing an old slip and slide thing. He's like I said it during the stream. He's starting to look like Pettersson was to start the year, where like I felt like he was playing on his butt more than he was playing on his skates.
Yeah, he's lucky that that offside goal got called back, because he looked real foolish on that one.
Yeah. And then what else did we hate about this game? This is just the shitless swear jar.
Yeah, well, and it's the dump and chase doesn't work against trap defense. We should have learned that last year against LA, when we had difficulty getting in and getting shots against Los Angeles all last year. We've seen this before with with the dump and chase, it's very effective when our forwards can get in and get the forecheck going and get a cycle going. But the Islanders get the puck out of the zone so flipping fast that they don't even have a chance to throw a hit. So they definitely need to re-strategize in the way they play these teams that collapse so quickly and don't give you a chance to develop the physical game that we need to be able to play our offense.
I think Hoglander had some pep, but like it was kind of I call it the Mason Raymond pep, because Mason Raymond was always a guy who was moving, skating hard, but a lot of the time I felt like his hands were slower than his feet were. And I felt that was kind of the Hoglander's game tonight. Like he was moving his feet, but his hands couldn't keep up. He kept on losing the puck. And I think he's just trying to do maybe a bit too much, doing these plays on the board where he's got one hand on a stick. He thinks he's Todd Bertuzzi, and he's moving his feet. But if you don't have control of the puck, rather than trying to do something fancy, just make a smart play, get the puck down low, and then get the change rather than trying to like look like you're a superstar out there. Maybe he's feeling the pressure sitting down on the fourth line there, thinking maybe he's going to get pulled out of the lineup pretty quick here.
Well, in awareness too, he looked really bad on that goal where he lost his stick. If that happens, don't give up on when you're the guy checking the guy with the puck.
Mm-hmm.
If you lose your stick like that, take the body, do something to kind of make him have to think about what he's doing. He just gave up and went straight for his stick. It just was really bad optics, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was something that he might end up in the press box. Like he might have to take a night off. That was a tough look. He didn't have a great game. No one really did from the whole lineup. Overall, I guess maybe Petey probably had one of the better games of the whole team today. Especially when we started seeing flashes of angry Petey there in the third. He started to try and control the game on that penalty kill when he went in and threw the body check below the goal line there and generated some of our best offense of the game on the PK. So it's nice to see him starting to find some confidence and starting to find some energy. But the rest of the team Miller looks lost without Besser right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely showing its effects, and hopefully we can, see some chemistry develop with Lekkerimäki and that sort of thing, because we got to start getting some more consistent shots on net. We've been talking about this all year. I mean, last game we were so excited to see 30 shots on net for a game, and tonight again it was just, the shots came towards the end of the game, but it's too little too late, and they're not quality shots. We're just firing at that point because we're desperate.
Yep.
Desperate shots are not, they're whatever. I don't really count them as shots. If you're trying to score, trying to win, trying to get ahead, like that's what we need to do. But there was no urgency tonight. No one wanted to turn the game around. No one wanted to throw a big momentum changing hit or do anything like that. And to be fair, Desharnais tried to get things going with a fight, but unfortunately he didn't have his fight clip tied down, or the Fanatics jerseys are that loose that it ripped that quickly. And so that fight didn't really materialize. So no real juices got going on
Shouldn't
either side.
That have technically
there.
been a penalty then? Because if you don't have your fight strap on, isn't that technically a penalty?
I think, well, yeah, and so that's why I think maybe it had torn. I don't know what the new fight strap looks like on the Fanatics jerseys. I just know what it looks like on the old like Adidas ones and stuff.
Right.
I don't know if it's the same wide white band that Velcro's on, or if it's been redesigned. Because it looks like the officials did look at that, and it must have ripped, or something must have happened.
Just hilarious, because I think I saw it on Reddit last night. There was a Detroit player who was spotted wearing an Adidas jersey for whatever reason, which is like super faux pas, because now like obviously the league has changed over to these Fanatics jerseys, and if you were to take your Adidas jersey down to Rogers Arena, they wouldn't even work on it for you anymore. That's the wild thing. And so the fact that a Detroit Red Wing was wearing an Adidas jersey last night is wild. So that might be the reason that Desharnais didn't get the extra penalty, because it just ripped, and that just shows you the trash quality. Speaking of trash, the Canucks, I mean, we're just going through all the terrible things. The Islanders won almost 60% of the faceoffs tonight.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, Horvat's there. We all know what he can do in the faceoff circle. That's not a huge surprise. It's unfortunate that I think Miller kind of struggled in the dot tonight. PD wasn't too bad. He was probably our best center tonight, but yeah, it's tough. We discussed that last game as well, that it's so important to win faceoffs because it's a possession game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not winning the faceoffs and you're not controlling the play, then you are chasing the play. And we chased the play pretty much all night.
I mean, it's like I agree with you, but I also I don't think they were even chasing, and they the majority of the time they looked like pylons. They weren't chasing anything. They were just standing their eyes were chasing the play, and their feet were just planted like they had melted through the ice or something like that.
Yeah, I guess figuratively chasing the play. I mean, if you had to choose a side, right? They're not driving the play, so
the only stat you can say that they did better than the Islanders is they ended up with 26 hits to 14 on the Islanders.
Yep.
Giveaways, they had 16 giveaways. Islanders had 14 giveaways. So, I mean, it was just kind of one of those games. But the defense, I think that's where I think, that's where you're starting to get a little nervous, because I was talking about it with Big Mac and Sticker Snatcher in the second intermission about how I'm feeling confident in the forwards, feeling confident in the goaltending, but I'm starting to be really worried about how the defense is looking. Because you got Soucy, Myers, and Desharnais, three big guys that can be really, really solid defensively, but can also be a huge liability for whatever reason. And when they all have a game like they did tonight, and it was weird too, because I felt like to start the night, the Canucks were doing a really good job of containing the Islanders with the simple plays of getting a stick in, getting in lanes and that. So it started and it felt really good. And then all of a sudden, it just feels like it was a field day and everyone was playing slip and slide out there.
Yeah, games like this, I miss the veteran presence of someone like Ian Cole. He really was a calming force back there last year.
Mm-hmm.
And when the games started to kind of get out of hand, he was one of those go-to guys that Talk could put out there and knew he was going to get clamped down solid defense. And I think that's something we're lacking right now. Hughes can only do so much. When Hronek struggles, that puts more pressure on Hughes to do that much more. We need someone else in our top four for sure. We have a 4 and 4B type D man right now. We don't really have a 3D man. So that's where we talked in the intermission about maybe acquiring a Marcus Pettersson from Pittsburgh, or Keandre Miller out of New York. Someone a little younger, a little more mobile with size, because it's all well and good to bring a lot of size, but if the guys can't be mobile, then it's not really an effective tool.
JT Miller, 44% of the faceoff. Piers Suter, 0% in the faceoff. Only took 2 though, so it's not that great. Pettersson coming in at 40%. Kiefer Sherwood took 1 faceoff, lost it. Teddy Bluger only won 38% of his faceoffs. Atu Ratu was the best Canucks faceoff man tonight at 50%.
Yeah, so those are tough. That's tough. Those are tough numbers. You're just not controlling the puck enough. You look at the other side, and you got Horvat at 64%, and you got Nelson at 54%. You got 2 guys there that are winning more than they lose. So that's why we didn't have the puck much. We struggled to get shots because we struggled to get possession.
Hronek played 27 minutes tonight.
That was about 25 minutes too much.
Yeah. Well, and I'm still upset about his ridiculous facing the wrong way on that goal. But on that specific goal, I'm pretty sure Hughes got walked, which is not something you see a lot. So I'm wondering if maybe because Hughesy, I'll have to get some stats together. I've got a couple of sheets to put together, but I feel like Hughes might be playing too much, and that might be that exact, yeah, because Hughes is also at 27 minutes and 10 seconds tonight. So it might be starting to, and he got the maintenance day. Maybe he's starting to wear down a little bit out there because that is not sustainable numbers.
No, and he's playing a hard 27 minutes, right? He's trying to drive the offense. He's skating around the offensive zone, doing laps, trying to break ankles, walking the blue line. It's not like he's just playing a standstill, stay at home 27 minutes of defense. So that's where it's, we got to look at it like, okay, we need to find somebody to take some pressure off of our top two D men so that they can play better and focus more. Because it did. It looked like a lack of focus. It looked like he was tired. He got walked out of the corner. Hronek made a bad decision to try and go down and block a pass when he probably should have just turned and taken a stick. And you just.
What is that? Lost my earbud there just from trying to show you how Hronek is. Vinny Desharnais, the lowest ice time for a Canucks defenseman tonight at 13 minutes. Obviously, it's going to be a little lower because he did have to spend the 5 minutes in the penalty box. But I think if you're looking at anyone who's coming off of this Canucks defense, I think Desharnais is probably your guy who comes out of the lineup. But I wouldn't even say he was the worst.
Honestly, him and Brandstrom have been playing quite well together the last couple of games, save the game that had our 7D men, because that was just a flustercluck. Save myself a swear jar there.
There you go.
So, him and Branny are actually really starting to find some chemistry out there and trust each other, and they've played pretty well. It was really our top four guys tonight that struggled. Susie and Hronek specifically had a real rough game.
Dakota Joshua tonight played 12 minutes overall, which is pretty much where we thought he'd come out, right?
Yeah, and as the game went on, and you could see he started to get a little more confident, more involved in the play, started throwing more hits towards the second half of the game. Obviously, he struggled with controlling the puck a little bit. Had one real nice pass out front to Ratu that I don't even think Ratu was expecting. So all positive signs there when it comes to Joshua. Probably looked a little bit behind the play, just because obviously it's his first game and hasn't got up to speed. But overall, I was pretty happy seeing him back out there, getting a chance to play with Sherwood for a bit for a couple shifts there. So we'll see what comes of that against Chicago and what Tocchet does with our offense, because clearly with Besser out, our lines are struggling to find some chemistry and get shots, quality chances on the offense.
Do you think this stint of Miller without Besser is helping Besser get more money in the offseason?
Possibly. I think what'll help Besser get more money is if he comes back from this injury and doesn't miss a step.
Mm-hmm.
If he comes back and continues to be the elite goal scorer that he's turned himself into, then yeah, definitely he's gonna make a big paycheck if he wants it.
Let's just keep on piling on Hughes. Hughes has got a -2 on the night. There's a bunch of Canucks like Hronek is a -1, Brandstrom's a -1, Joshua's a -1. A bunch of guys, Miller, Hoglander, all these guys, Lekkerimäki's a -1. But Hughes is the only one on the whole team who's a -2.
Yeah, I mean, our 5-on-5 play was not great tonight, and it starts with your captain, and maybe that big hit he took early rocked him and put him a step behind tonight, because you get rocked like that in the shoulder, you can feel a little achy for the rest of the game, and it's not like it hurts, but it throws you off and you feel uncomfortable because he got smoked. And it's a clean hit. I have no problem with that. But what I don't like is that it's our captain, and no one went out there and after Desharnais tried to challenge for the fight and was declined by I can't even remember how to pronounce his name there. Um, the Islanders player said no, so he fought Martin in the second period. But like no one goes out and throws a big hit. No one goes out to show their support for our captain, and this happens time after time. And we talked about this when Besser got hit. Like, where's the toughness? Where's the team cohesion? Where it's like, I got your back, man. Like that's not happening tonight, and we just still don't see that yet. And that's something that I wish would come more. And we'd see someone going out there and trying to make a difference physically or trying to take over the game a little more and just trying to just push the play. We just don't see that, and I don't know. I don't know why that is happening. You see that pretty much on every other team. We saw Zadorov. I don't know if you saw the clip of him tonight. Jamie Benn hit one of the Boston Bruins players pretty much in the numbers and immediately had to fight Zadorov because Zadorov isn't going to put up with someone taking a liberty on his teammates. So we just miss that kind of chemistry and I don't know if it has to come through trade or if they just need to figure out who the guy's going to be, or maybe now that Joshua's back, once he gets his feet under him, he can be that guy. But I really don't like that part of our game or our team structure.
Or that 2 assists plus 1, just under 18 minutes of ice time. Coming back and showing us up. They didn't even, and that's the thing, they didn't even have Matt Barzal, right? So at the end of the day, that's an offensive weapon that was taken out of the lineup.
Yeah, this wasn't even their best team. They have a couple other injuries as well. And so that's alarming. These playoff teams are making us look bad and making us look not ready and making us look like we won't even get out of the first round if we make it this year. So we need to figure out what has changed so drastically from last year to this year, and figure it out in a hurry because we're starting to trend in the wrong direction, and we need to. I'm sure Alvin sees that, and I bet he's working furiously to try and figure things out with Tocchet and the guys. So I would expect something to happen here in the next couple weeks, especially if we get more word on Besser being out long term.
Yeah. Well, we all know Chef Alvain's always cooking something up.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's stop beating the dead horse. Let's go back to what we didn't get to, the Abbey Canucks. We got their game coming up this weekend, 7 o'clock in Abbotsford. Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Got the Coachella Valley Firebirds coming in. What are the Abbey, the baby Canucks? What are their chances going into this game against the Firebirds?
I think they're starting to show signs of figuring out their defensive coverage. There was really only one goal last game where they had that zone defense collapse too much and not pick up that trailer player. So that's good. If they can continue to do that, they've been really pushing the play offensively. They really get a lot of shots on net. A lot of our guys down there are really starting to blossom, like Klimovich and then our veterans. We got Wouters and our captain down there, and we got John Stevens. Everyone's really starting to find who they're playing with now. Everyone's knows who's going up, who's going down, who's going to be the top line. So it's starting to find some more chemistry. Um, I'm thinking that Tolopilo might be starting to see a bit of a workload here going forward now that we don't really have any update on Patera yet. So I'm not sure if Tolopilo is just going to be leaned on, or if Ty Young maybe sees one of the games this weekend, because we are going back to back Friday, Saturday against Coachella.
Yeah. Something tells me you might see Ty Young on the Saturday because you do have, it's a short turnaround too. You got Friday night, it's a 7 o'clock game, and then the next day, They're playing at 4:00, so it's not even a 24-hour break. So I think it
Yeah,
probably is a bit of an ask for Tulipio to play 2 games in less than 24 hours. So
absolutely. And you saw the quick move to send Seelovs down last weekend to get a game in. And this weekend we won't have that luxury because obviously the Canucks are playing a back-to-back of their own. So
the young guy might be getting his first start in the AHL. You never know.
yeah, you never know. And then some other just minor news out of the Abbey Canucks today is Matt Irwin officially retiring from professional hockey.
Yep.
He signed a two-way deal with the Canucks in the 2023-24 off season, just to be a veteran presence, help the young guys down there, and maybe potentially be a depth guy if need be. But he never really was threatening to get into the Canucks lineup much, and kind of a suitcase player. He's played for a few teams, bounced around the league. Born in Victoria, BC, so
Local
he is a
boy.
BC boy, local boy. But yeah, he's had a decent career. Most recently in the NHL, probably for the people would recognize probably for the Nashville Predators. But yeah, he's now retired, and so he didn't get into any regular season games for the Abbey Canucks this year. They kind of have a large roster and a lot of young guys that are starting to grow their game, and with Lekkerimäki and Ratu being up with the big club, there's definitely less need for him to be down there. So.
Let's give ourselves some rest. We'll get ready for Chicago coming up this weekend.
And Nashville. We got
And
the back to back.
Yeah, back to back. Got Bedard in town on the 16th. Got Nashville the next day. We're thinking it's probably Shilov's on Saturday and Lankinen on Sunday.
I think so. Give Lankinen the extra day off. He's had a pretty heavy workload, and obviously, you don't want to overwork him, but he's a starting goalie, so yeah, I would expect Shilovs to get Chicago. It's a little easier assignment than Nashville. Nashville's starting to maybe find their game a bit with all those offensive weapons they picked up in the offseason. So I would expect that you want to, and plus it's Lankinen's former team, so let him have those guys, and then yeah, hopefully we move forward and can grab all 4 points from this weekend.
I hope so too, brother. Thanks for stopping by under difficult circumstances.
Hey, I'm always here for you.
We'll talk to you on Saturday, brother.
Sounds good.
Nothing is perfect.